Hey guys, it's Ed, Restricted Arm Mobility Bud here. It's time for the famous running shoe, yay or nay. Four shoes today. I'm going to discuss whether I'm going to pick them up for testing or not. No time to waste. Let's get to it. And to think, my wife suggested that because I was injured, I wouldn't be picking up any new pairs of running shoes in the foreseeable future. How wrong can a person be? Shoe number one. First piece of footwear today comes from Mizuno with their Wave Rebellion. I get vibes that are multiplying on the outsole of this shoe with some Adios 6 kind of feel. Certainly in terms of that traction pattern, but also that torsion-like shape that's on the bottom there. You can see there's quite a bit of similarity there between the two shoes. The upper itself looks a little bit like a comic book, or maybe a 3D film where you used to have to wear those blue and red glasses. That awesome red and blue Mizuno logo there. I really do like that feature of this shoe. Again, as per that Boston 10 from Adidas, we have the appearance of glass fibre. This time it's in the Wave plate, which I think this model's quite famous for actually. No rods here though. That's Adidas's thing. Not quite as of an aggressive drop as the previous Mizuno shoes I've tested. I think one of them was a 10 or a 12, so it's a little bit more chilled out this time around. Weight appears a tad lower though this time due to the simplified air mesh upper here perhaps, and the very minimal outsole lugs. Maybe glass fibre will be 2022's carbon fibre. Should be some good airy cushion here from the NZ foam, but there's a hefty price tag here. Do I like the shoe as much as the Adios Pro 2? Because it's the same price. I think I'd love to say yay on the Wave Rebellion, but I think it's too much of a gamble. 180 Earth credits UK. I think I'll let some other people test this one out. I'm not willing to throw out that many Earth credits on it. It's going to be a nay for the Mizuno Wave Rebellion. Shoe 2 is the AlphaFly 2. Thanks to the awesome Protos of the Gram Instagram page for supplying this one. Here we can see some clearer images of the shoe out in the wild, after some runners actually opted to use them in recent marathons. Big changes here guys, as you can see, it's a big shoe. We've got the inclusion of some ZoomX foam underneath the AirPods in the front of the shoe there. Maybe as a method of protecting the tensile air units there. I know a few people have had some problems with them popping. Perhaps this is to try and provide a little bit more resilience to them. Even back in the day when Nike first introduced air units into the midsoles of their shoes, so we're talking like 1970s, people started to convey a little bit of worry, a little bit of anxiety that they might pop or explode. Is that still the case now, with quite a lot of people reporting issues with those AirPods? The foam as well does seem to block out that gap in the pods that we had on the first version of the shoe. It's an area I find got clogged up with debris over time, and the only way to really clean it out was to just run the tap into it. It's a bit weird. I got loads of acorn shell pieces and all sorts of mud and muck used to build up in there, and that was the only way to get it out. It was even worse on the Tempo Next percent actually. That was quite sealed up and difficult to access. I think if the foam has increased there in the forefoot, does that mean that they've increased it in the heel? I wouldn't have thought so. We're already at that maximum 40mm level. I don't think they're going to raise it any higher. I mean, we had a 4mm drop in the shoe before, and I doubt they're going for a 0 drop. Not Nike. I reckon some of the forefoot cushion may have been sacrificed to keep the shoe at that championship legal state. Maybe to keep the weight down of this version of the shoe, they've carved out a little bit more of that exposed midsole foam. You can see that in the outsole there. The channel seems a lot deeper than it was before. I guess it could be adding that extra foam around the AirPods, maybe to try and stabilise them a little bit more, to give things a slightly more rigid feel in the front. The back heel area of the upper here certainly looks a bit thicker, perhaps even flexible to allow you to get in and out of the shoe. It was a very hard shoe to put on, the AlphaFly. Anyone that's had a pair will know what I'm talking about. Shoe horns at the ready. I'd certainly be very keen to test this shoe out. I was one of the first shoe tubers to pick up the AlphaFly and give it a review, but I think there's quite a lot of other details that are yet to emerge about the AlphaFly 2. At the moment though, with fear of increased stack height even further, I'm tall enough as it is guys, and very clumsy too, as you'll know what happened to me during the week. I think it's going to have to be a nay for the AlphaFly 2. I'm just really worried they're going to keep increasing that stack height. Adidas have done it, so you know that Nike are going to do it sooner or later. If you're enjoying the content today, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when we roll those new videos out for you. And it really helps the channel out in terms of the YouTube algorithm too. If you give this video a thumbs up like. Dankeschön. Shoe 3. Next one up is the Brooks Hyperion Max. This one's appeared on the feet of a few people over the course of the recent marathons. Obviously like prototype versions, I don't think it's going to see release anytime soon. Looks like Brooks are quite possibly sticking with that nitro midsole material here. They infuse nitro into some type of foam. I think they call it DNA Flash. I think Brooks are going to wheel it out again for a third take on their top line race shoe. This time though it looks like a drastically different upper from what we had in the last version of the shoe. Perhaps focusing a little bit more on lace eyelets here, improving the lockdown around the foot, vital when you have a very rigid carbon plate in the midsole of your shoe. Profile of the shoe looks very similar to that Craft CTM Ultra model that I reviewed a few weeks back. In fairness, the Hyperion Elite 2 wasn't really a shoe that captured my imagination all that much. I really enjoyed my time in the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks. That was a great pace shoe. I think that was perhaps due to its ridiculously low weight though. Might have to dig this one back out again once the arm is mended and give it some more miles. Just refresh my opinion on it somewhat. Feel as if I've kind of let it down almost. I think if perhaps Brooks can adjust the upper here on the Hyperion Max to something that mirrors that Hyperion Tempo shoe, then we're a starter for 10. I think you might have to get rid of those weird laces as well, with the bobbles on. Wasn't sure about those at all. I think that there are lots of Brooks stalwarts there waiting for their next shoe, holding out for an alternative Tempo or race shoe, something that's not got Adidas or Nike written on it. Interesting to see if they've solved the fit issue that some people found on the first version of the Hyperion Elite, and they've improved the balance a little bit between the very rigid carbon plate feel and sort of comfortable cushion. At present though, it could be a big price tag if Brooks top end race shoes are anything to go by. I think I'll hold fire to see if this one's worth picking up in the future. I think I paid over 200 for the Hyperion Elite 2 and I certainly haven't had £200 worth of value out of it. Certainly when you consider there are cheaper models out there like the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite at 170 Earth credits, or the Adios Pro 2 at 180. Yeah, I don't think Brooks can really consider charging over 200 for this one. I mean, even that Bondi X was up there at 180 now. That's just madness. So I think it's going to be a nay for the time being, at least until I can find some more information out on the Brooks Hyperion Max. Shoe 4. We got another one from XTEP this time, or XTEP, or however you pronounce it. I spotted this one on their website. Sadly, again, it isn't in my size. The XTEP 260. It's a really beautiful looking shoe actually. This time featuring a nylon plate in the midsole. This company seems to stock very few shoes in my size. They seem to stop at around about a UK 10.5. There's some really promising models knocking around at the moment from this company, and at sub 100 Earth credits as well. And at sub 100 Earth credits, these appear to be a Saucony Endorphin Speed competitor. I'm really desperate to try out some shoes from other brands, so that's why I've been looking around to try and find some alternatives. Something a bit different from the same old React Nike models, the endless light strike shoes from Adidas. Hoka stuff's just not really lighting my fire right now, so that's why I'm kind of reaching out, see if I can grab some of these other brands. The shoe's very reminiscent of that Vaporfly Next Percent Ekiden model I picked up a couple of years back, with the alternating mirrored colours there, and the black tongue and lacing system. There's a pellet-based foam here in the midsole, perhaps for that denser, endorphin-reminiscent ride of the Saucony Power Run PB material. Overall, it's a shoe I really want to try out, and I think it looks fire as well. But unless I can get a pair in my size, it's a no-go. I think this brand, along with Li Ning, is producing some really interesting running models at the moment. Sadly, we don't get to hear about them over here that much in the UK. They seem to be getting bigger by the day, and they're coming with some serious innovation as well. If I can get hold of a pair of the XTEP 260s, it's going to be a yay from me. What do you make of these 4 today, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Down here. If somebody commented the other day about, Chinese made shoes and said, oh, I'm not buying those, they're a Chinese company. And then I said to them, have you looked as to where all your shoes are from? You do realise where they're made, right? Yeah, they didn't comment back. A quick musical interlude for you. I'm not sure it's my kind of up and down mental state at the moment due to my injury. Sometimes feeling very positive, and other times feeling very negative. It's got me listening back to some old ballad type tunes again, Scott Walker, that type of thing, and that led me back to Richard Hawley's album Ladies Bridge. There's some beautiful songs on here, guys, there really are. Sort of reminiscent, I guess, of Scott Walker and Roy Orbison. Favourites at the moment are Roll River Roll and Lady Solitude. Such atmosphere here, thick and murky, almost like a November night where the fog has descended. You know, fireworks are going off in the sky, but you can't see more than 50 metres in front of you. Hawley's baritone delivery on some of these tracks really does make you feel great and sort of quite downtrodden at the same time. That's what I love about music. You can experience these different things. Put yourself into the shoes, perhaps, of the person who's at the centre of the song. Can't believe this one was out in 2007. It really has gone by very quickly since then. Richard Hawley, a true gem from the UK. A brilliant guitar player and vocalist, and a fantastic songwriter. Go and check this one out, guys. Ladies Bridge by Richard Hawley. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of today's Yay or Nay. It's always appreciated. If you've yet to do so, please help the channel out by hitting that subscribe button and clicking the bell below for notifications of when we roll those new videos out for you. And help us get to the toppermost of the poppermost by giving this video a thumbs up like, but also sharing it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you